Hey YouTube, I thought I'd do a little bit of a status thing on my tomato plants. You can see the tomatoes there, they're green. I have taken all of the red tomatoes off. I picked them yesterday, and the other tomatoes here are growing as best they can. I cut off the last 2 buckets over here, and those plants are dying, and the first one over here, and that plant is dying because they gave me nothing as far as fruit goes. I've been disappointed this year because I thought with the new greenhouse I would be able to really do well, and it's not doing as well as I thought, and I'm not sure why. Although I had a lot of other things to do this year, and I may not have been maintaining things as well as I was before. But the peppers, on the other hand, the pepper plants, well, let me go back to the tomatoes. Remember I said they would grow to the ceiling? If you measured those plants, they go from 16 inches or so, the roots, above the ground. They go to a 12-foot ceiling. It's 12 foot up to these rafters here. And you can see where those plants have crossed over 1, 2 rafters, so that's 4 feet. Plus they're coming down in between these other plants, and they're still getting flowers on them. So that's how hard they grew as far as length goes. The vines went crazy, but I wasn't getting the fruit that I should have gotten. And there's a couple different reasons. I'm going to have to work at this a little better next season. This season's a little too late for me now to worry about it. And like I say, I've had so much other work to do that I sort of neglected this, even though I put a lot of money into the greenhouse. But I'll show you the peppers. So all of the peppers are growing pretty well. You can see, how high that plant is right here. This other one here is pretty high. They're doing pretty well. And the fruit is nice. I've got some nice, you can tell by my hand, that's a handful of a pepper there. More peppers coming. There's peppers there. There are flowers. Some flowers are dropping off, but I am getting, you can see here's a little one coming. So there's quite a few. There's another little one coming there. There's more peppers on these. Right there's a pepper. So their plants are doing pretty well, and I still had done better the previous year, and my wife said maybe that I built a new greenhouse. She said maybe the plants liked being close together, because man, it was like a jungle in my other little shed I had. So anyway, those plants are doing pretty well. I just planted this cabbage about a week ago, and just to get a little bit of cabbage here. Those are doing fine. Lettuce. The cabbage has gotten to a spot where it's got heads growing. The heads are not as big as I would like, but usually they have a growth spurt towards the end of summer when the weather is cooler. Okay? And to give you an idea of what this is looking like, for those of you who are interested, those are what the roots look like in there. Let me open this up a little better. Okay, those are what the roots look like. And what I do with these ponds is I keep the water level up to this little lip, so that leaves air above the water, between the water and the plant. And the plants are very healthy looking. They're looking very good. They're, like I say, there seem to be a little stagnant as far as growing at the moment, but I expect them to, when it gets a little bit cooler, to pull up with a little bit of a growth spurt again, and then we should be pretty well off with these. A little dry here, but other than that, they're not bad. So that's where I'm at so far. For those of you who are interested in the hydroponic part of this, I have a little, I don't know if I ever showed this before, I probably did, but I just keep formulas here for, how much of what I use for the peppers, for instance, like the pepper fertilizer, so many grains of that, calcium nitrate, and then Epsom salt. and I use this scale to weigh it out. I think I've said this in one of my other videos. But yeah, so anyway, I'm pretty satisfied with what I've got in here for the little bit of attention that I put into it. I need to really put more attention into this next year, and I think that this past year I did not keep that garage door open in the very beginning when the plants started to get flowers on them, and I think I should have, because I think they would have pollinated better with the air flowing through. Right now I have that garage door there open, plus this door here I have open. It is 80 in here today. It's 80 something outside, but the cool air helps to blow the plants around a little bit, and I think it helps to pollinate them, as well as I do tap on the strings to pollinate them as well, you know, to get some of the pollination going from one plant to the other, and hopefully that works. So like I say, there's some good and there's some bad. For instance, like if you look at this plant here, I'm not sure why this plant has shriveled up a little bit, its leaves. It's getting plenty of water, but yet you can see there's fruit coming up there. So it's hard to understand what all the plants are doing. But again, for the time I put into it, I've gotten, I guess, what I would have reaped from that much work. But next year I got to do more as far as trimming the plants. So I mean, you can see that's turned into a jungle up there for me. I don't even see any fruit up in there growing, but they reach for the sun and that's where they've gone, although there is fruit. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a tomato right at the tip of my finger there, and that's about at the 11-foot level. So once they turn red, I'll be able to see them if they are up there. So anyway, that's where I've gotten so far. I don't know if I ever took a video of the finished greenhouse, but I put that polycarbonate on there, and that really holds up well. And then I put the soffit up in here and finished that off. I was going to put soffit up along there, but then I decided not to because of the sun. I think it would block out a lot of the sun. So I sort of changed my mind with that. And I think maybe next year when I lay out the plants, I'll lay them out slightly different. I'm thinking that it's possible that the tomato plants, maybe they should have been a little bit more forward. I mean, I laid this out in such a way, south is on that wall, so the sun, you know, is coming up along and coming through here. So I put the smaller things up front, the medium things like the peppers next, and then the tomatoes after that. That was my theory behind this. But you can see that the tomatoes, I think, wanted more sun, and they weren't getting what they were liking as far as sun goes. So what I think I'll do next year is maybe leave out one of these pond areas here and bring the peppers and stuff over this way, and then the tomatoes over that way. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm at so far. I hope you, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment, because I'll answer almost everything I get. And that's where I'm at so far. If you have any suggestions, shoot them out here. I never got to hook up my my self-watering system. I've been doing it by hand. What happened was I have the containers over there, the white ones. This drum, I actually want to put diesel fuel in it so that I can get through October in here. And I was watering the ponds out of the 50-gallon drums, because I mixed 100 gallons of nutrient solution, and I just shake that up and then pump it into these ponds as I went. Okay guys, that's it for today. Have a good one. Bye.